You know how everybody loves Steve Harvey? Well, that's not exactly true. You'd never know it from his jolly talk show persona, but Steve has a pretty messy romantic and family life. And some of the people in his innermost circle have some serious beef with him. But it looks like karma came back around to bite him because rumor has it that his wife, Marjorie, has been out in the streets cheating on him with 2 different men. And word on the Twitterverse is that she's going to file for divorce and try to take half of everything Steve owns. But this story takes a twist in the form of Lori Harvey, Marjorie's daughter. She's standing up for her mom and says that Steve is a bad husband. Did Lori Harvey really blame Steve Harvey for Marjorie's infidelity? People have said that Steve and Marjorie's marriage can't be all that it's cracked up to be, and that it can't be all sunshine and roses. After all, according to his second wife, Mary, he was cheating on her with Marjorie before they actually started publicly dating. He was also living with Mary before his divorce with his first wife, Marcia, was finalized too. But that's a whole other story. The level of dysfunction in their relationship has recently been brought to light, and it's quite the eye-opener. Supposedly, Marjorie has been messing around with at least 2 other men. The accusations claim that among the men she cheated with were Steve's own bodyguard and his personal chef. The craziest thing about this scandal is that Steve makes himself out to be like a relationship expert. And he told People magazine recently that he changed his whole outlook on relationships when he got with Marjorie. Marjorie changed the way I existed. I'd never been in a healthy adult relationship. I'd never been loyal. I'd never been fully respected. We're sure that his first 2 wives were pretty ticked off that he said that, especially since he's recently been exposed for cheating on his first wife and leaving her with his kids. But anyway, it's pretty ironic that he says he was respected and that he settled down and stayed loyal, and then his wife wasn't. One of the reasons people are saying that they just knew that their relationship couldn't be as good as they were making it out to be is because of how it started. The pair actually met in the 1990s, while he was still married. He said it was pretty much love at first sight when he saw Marjorie. Marjorie was at a comedy club where Steve was performing. He actually did a lot of stand-up comedy back in the day, and it kept him away from home a lot. So when he met Marjorie, he started putting the moves on her. They talked briefly for a couple of weeks, but she didn't keep entertaining him because he was pretty broke and struggling to get his foothold in the entertainment industry. She wasn't interested in being a passenger on the struggle bus with him. She'd already been in a relationship with 2 different drug dealers, and they had been making a lot of money and spending it on her. So after she got accustomed to that wealthy lifestyle, she didn't want to go back to dating a broke guy. Her decision to not get with him wasn't because he was married. They were both actually married during that time period. And his wife was very supportive of his comedy career, which is why she let him stay away all the time, doing stand-up gigs at bars where he could meet women like Marjorie in the first place. She actually gave him her life savings so that he could start his own comedy club. Then when he started taking off, he dumped her and he got with Marjorie. And of course, he took the money with him. And before you go thinking that Steve's the only one with a messy romantic past, we should point out that Steve is Marjorie's 3rd marriage too. Her first marriage was to Jim Townsend, who fathered her first 2 children. He got arrested while attempting to buy 40 whole kilos of illicit drugs. Marjorie was pregnant with their 2nd child at the time, and cops strongly suspected her of having some involvement with his drug operation, which she denied. He actually took a plea deal that specified that Marjorie would be let off the hook if he took it. She then divorced Jim after he was sentenced to prison. And apparently she really knew how to pick him because she got married to Darnell Woods, who was yet another drug dealer. People think he's Lori's dad, but then he also caught some charges. Just like she'd done in her previous marriage, she divorced him once he was sentenced. So here are the facts as people see them. Marjorie had 2 marriages with 2 different drug dealers that were messy as hell and ended in them going to prison and her getting divorced. Also, she wouldn't get with Steve while he was broke, then she started hooking up with him while he was married after he started making some money. And that's why people really don't think too highly of her. We're not saying she is, but a lot of people speculate that she's only with Steve because he has money. Maybe she wouldn't have been so quick to get with him if he hadn't already been getting paid. But Steve was delighted when she gave him that second chance. They've been married since 2007. And he's pretty vocal about the fact that he loves and spoils her.
Name something you think Steve Harvey spends a lot of money on.
Wife, Steve.
Yes!
He didn't care about her messy romantic past. He just took her for who she was and loved her. He even went as far as adopting her kids as his own and giving them his last name. Marjorie wanted Steve to adopt them and for them to have his last name instead of their biological father's because she didn't want them associated with the crimes their dads were involved in and went to prison for. So she went out and landed a millionaire, and the kids got a new daddy that was filthy rich. And Steve adores her kids. He probably loves Lori the most. Some people think he loves Lori more than his own kids.
In one of our annual father-daughter dates to my favorite Japanese restaurant, and you just started talking to me about guys, and you just told me that you always supported me and you'd always be there for me no matter what, and you loved me unconditionally.
It's pretty obvious to anyone with eyes that Steve is head over heels in love with Marjorie, and he even loves her kids enough to adopt them himself and give them his name. It really seems like he's done a lot more for Marjorie in their marriage than he has for his previous wives. So it seems insane that she'd run around on him. But like I said, if Marjorie really is out here cheating on him, then maybe that's some sort of cosmic justice. Steve's been open about the fact that he cheated a lot in his previous marriages, so maybe now it's time for him to understand how that feels. Like Justin Timberlake said, what goes around comes all the way back around. One interesting element of the story is the rumor that Marjorie cheated with Steve's bodyguard. He's the one who encouraged the meeting between the two after their initial meeting and got them together. Here's what Steve said about it in a 2016 interview with People magazine. He told me, "Look, the only time I've ever seen you happy was when you were with that woman Marjorie. Now before you go and do something stupid and marry another woman, I'm calling her." Yep, that's right. The man that put these two together after their first meeting a decade before is the same man that she supposedly had an affair with. But what's more is that she's allegedly going to file for divorce from Steve soon, and rumor has it that she's coming for half of everything he's got. The internet went crazy with the rumors of the affair and impending divorce, but Steve recently denied these allegations and went public to set the record straight. Marjorie addressed the allegations on her Instagram too. "My husband and I don't usually stop to address all the foolishness and lies that have been spread about us. However, to whom much is given, much is required. I understand that with my platform comes some sort of responsibility to those that may not be as strong as we are. Read and share this with your loved ones that may not know how to properly cope. God bless all of you." But the drama doesn't end there. Supposedly, Lori is really mad at Steve because he didn't come to Marjorie's defense right away. And it resulted in rumors spreading like wildfire and people talking really badly about her mom. An insider said that Lori felt that Steve should have stomped out the rumors as soon as they started, and that he was wrong for waiting days before he said anything. Also, the insider revealed that there's a lot of tension in the family right now because of the rumors, and because of Steve's procrastination when it came to denying them. What do you think? Do you think that Steve's denial of the accusation is genuine? Do you think Marjorie really cheated on him? And what do you think about Lori being mad at him for not standing up for her mom and letting her get put down all over the internet? Let us know in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed so you won't miss our next video. Catch you next time.